go live here. And now let's start the motherfucking show. Message. Finally, it's time to wine and dine. Good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only talent El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. It is another en fuego day in the hottest city in the world, coming at you live and direct from South Florida, where they told us today we're gonna have highs of 84. I know you guys is mad. Don't be salty. Don't be salty that it's the end of November. Don't be salty that it's the end of November and we over here holding down 84-degree days. Yes, folks, we had a high of 84 degrees today. They said we had a low of 70. What's a low of 70? Current temperature right now is 74 degrees. And can I tell you the current temperature in the room right now? I'm a little perturbed. We started the podcast 50 minutes late. Not gonna lie. It's the current time right now is 8:58 as we start the podcast. And I'm a little perturbed we started the podcast because I was here, I was ready, I was on time. And you know what happened? Everything that I loaded up, fucked up. I had to reload everything. Especially this little motherfucker restream. Like you're starting now to make this a habit of not loading up my hard-on work. I don't know why I stirred that like that. Because you know why? Because of the temperature that I told myself I wasn't going to drink today. I told myself I wasn't going to drink today. This could be your product. This could be your product. Like, you understand the level. Oh, yeah, I can't see that one. That's you. That's Instagram. Oh, man. But, yeah, so I'm going to drink today. I am definitely going to drink today. And I'm going to drink something I like to call Skull Fuck Vodka. Which, I've been putting weed in there. Just dropping that bitch in there. Watching that motherfucker float. I think I'm going to take myself a little sippy sip today. We're going to get the podcast started right. Listen, you know how this podcast go, right? So, oh, shit. Got all over me and shit. God damn. Woo. So, you know how we do here in the podcast, right? Pour yourself a little drinky drink. Roll yourself. Oh, that is changing colors. Roll yourself up a little jointy joint. Pack yourself up a little bowly bowl. Because you know it's about to be a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Let's get into this. Let's really get it. Let's really get into the show that you guys know we got going on for you guys today, right? It's November 28th. You guys already heard that, folks. We got a big show for you guys today. We got a big show coming your way. We're talking about that big pod energy. We gonna get. Oh, get me right. We gonna get into Tom Thibodeau being suspended. Wait, what? Oh yeah, folks. We got Blue Chew. We got the Finns flooding the Redzone. We got prime positions to talk about. We got Brittany Griner. We got UFC 281 to get into in this. I may have had to fake the funk with you guys, but I came back. I came back proper. We're gonna talk about that one as well, right? We got Wilson. We got Wilson being whitewashed. We gotta get into that. We have failed this city. Whoa, different kind of Wilson. Actually, both Wilsons, right? We gonna get into some Thanksgiving talk, folks. We got we got some Thanksgiving talks to get into for real. We gonna talk about this later. I want to know who stole the show. What dish stole that show for you guys? We gonna talk about that. Oh, we got our MyT 5, our MyT top 5 performers of the week. You gonna want to get your fantasy notes ready, folks, for this one. We got some barbecue ribs alert.
You have failed this game.
We got all that and more coming up right now on the Mighty Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here on the show. Regardless of the time and regardless of the weather,
You play to win the game. Hello?
it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. So, let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Yo, did I just see something? Okay. Cause you know what's funny? I know a couple of chill wills by now. Yo, so the fact that this is a 305 number talking about is Chili Willy. What's going on? Chili chill on the relay rail. Well, let me give him a little shout out right now. Let him know what up. Podding right now, bro. We podding right now. Got my big pod energy right going on. I don't got the black sweatpants or even the black basketball shorts on. You know what I mean? Like I'm one person like, yo, like it's too hot in South Florida for black sweatpants. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So I wear the the gray sweatpants. Even too hot for that shit. But I do wear the gray cotton like shorts or whatever. Like I'll rock that for you. Like I got you. You know what I mean? Lingerie style, keep it sexy. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. I can't keep going back and forth. Oh, okay. I just told him. See, so what's the dilly? I'm potting right now. You should be watching. Chill. Like, yo, we went to school together. You know what I mean? Like, we go back. Yo, glad to see you here. Every day it's a blessing. For real. Shit, I didn't stir that motherfucker. That's all liquor. God damn. And it's nothing I can't dig. I wasn't expect. Ooh. Oh, god damn. Is that a... Yo, is that a hint of marijuana that I taste? Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna... Yo. Until today, I was not able to taste the marijuana in there. But I dropped another nugget in there recently. And can I tell you? Holy sh... Your boy may not make it to halftime of this game. Keep an eye out on me. Or better yet, let's keep an eye out on each other, right? Because halftime may come a little bit sooner than anticipated. Let's continue to get into it, right? Let's continue to get let you know what we got. We have all that to get into and more. But wait, there's more, right? Because always a blast on the Mighty Sports Podcast where we start talking, right? We have ways about us, right? Like we have patterns, right? We have idiosyncrasies here on the Mighty Sports Podcast, right? One of our patterns, one of our ways, one of our habits, right? One of our, you know, one of our, what they call it? What they call it? One of our superstitions. It ain't a superstition though. One of the ways we like to pop off the podcast is with a nice little popping party. Right? Right? We like to pop off the podcast with a birthday party. That's really what we like to do here, right? And whoa, back that up. And all that is that we like to give a nice little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we were on the air. Yo, you guys are really playing with me with these messages today. Y'all is teasing your boy. Hey, yo, like, listen, No Nut November has never been so hard. I'm telling you, whoever was the lucky person to get the reservation for December 1st, woo-wee. Listen, let me say this again, right? Let me say this again, because I don't think you'll hear me. Right, and I want to make sure I'm recording somewhere else too as well, cause you know, you get started, And next thing you know, you get going and you realize like, yo, I am not recording everywhere like I thought I was. God, yo. That's that second flavor that hits you. Like was it the third flavor? It's lemonade, then vodka, and then after that you like, wait, what's this? Wait, did I eat a weed brownie? Boy, I'm telling you guys now, it's gonna be an interesting show. This gonna be real. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go big boy style, right? I told you guys, I'm feeling my big pot energy. So let's bring out the big pot smoker, right? Let's bring out the big pot smoker, aka the blunt object over here. You know what I mean? AKA I can't talk because my mouth is full. Pause. Hope you guys are with me on this one, right? So we like to get into a nice little birthday party to start off with the podcast, and all that is that we give a little shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time we was on the air. We didn't have a show on Friday. Luckily for us, or unluckily for us, maybe Facebook didn't give me the information. I had no birthdays registered for the 24th or the 25th. Like I could reminisce, right? I could be mistaken. That's what Facebook gave me, and when I looked today, it didn't give me any of them. Pittsburgh Steelers go up 13-0 on the Indianapolis Colts. That's what we got for Monday Night Football? You see, that's one of those times when, like, it's the franchises. Like, I can't even say. I'm not feeling this Monday Night Football game. I'm really not feeling this Monday Night Football game at all. Like, you guys know I like to keep a show on. I like to keep a sports venue going on in the background. And right now, for me, I'm just saying, this may not cut it. So let's take a nice little look and see who we have on the lineup for NBA scores, right? Let's hide these scores, because I don't like to see my scores. But let's see who we have on the docket. We have Atlanta and Philly. That's a good matchup. If I just saw that, that's already in like the third or fourth quarter. That's on NBA TV. We got Minnesota and Washington. Charlotte and Boston. I can see that a little bit. Orlando and Brooklyn. I want to see Banchero play. He's been a gem to watch so far. Cleveland and Toronto. Oklahoma City and New Orleans. I can watch that. We're going to find something to put on. I don't know if I'm really going to be feeling Pittsburgh and Indy. It's one of those times, right, that you're glad for options when it comes to the NFL. Right? If you're like me, you're glad for options. Other sporting options. Whether it be the World Cup, where we already have upsets between Japan and Saudi Arabia. You got New England tying. Who lost? Germany, I think, lost, right? Was it Germany and Argentina? So those two teams got upset already. And I wouldn't be upset if there was nothing else on for tonight. But you know what? Luckily for us, there are a few things that are on. Let's see. Chicago and Utah is in the pregame. Houston and Denver's in the pregame. Okay. This one is showing me the scores again. I'm a little upset now. Let's see if I can try to... Okay, I saw a close game a while ago. Let's see. Pelicans and Thunder is kind of close. But let's jump into the third quarter of Philly and Atlanta. As this game is now, if I saw that correctly, 96-94 about in the third quarter. Now, this game may be interesting to see, right? Or interesting that it's so close. Depending on who's playing or not. Because last time I checked on with Philly, right? Philly did not, at least when they played the Knicks, they didn't have Joel Embiid. They didn't have James Harden. That was me doing his step back. While still having a ball in his hand. But this time around, though, I see Joel Embiid already. He's at the line. I already saw Trae Young. So we got the two biggest stars in the game playing. I see Tobias Harris. That's not Maxey. That's somebody that starts with a V. Game right now is 96-95. Atlanta. 3.5 minutes left to go in the fourth. We're going to stay right here on this game and keep you up to date while we talk about the podcast. But I think I've held you guys up long enough. I think I've given you guys enough time to come into the room and come and join me for this birthday celebration. So, hey yo, DJ MyT, without any further ado, you know how we like to do. Drop that beat. You like that? I like that. You like that? I like that. You like that? I like that. You like that? I like, but because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Hold on, whoa. I just realized. What I did not have, right? And I ain't gonna lie, Craig, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of want it with me. Like I think we've gotten used to it, right? I think it's become a staple of the show already, and its quick infancy. Sorry, I'm over here tripping. But my brethren, I'm gonna need you to do something for me. I'm gonna need you to do something for me. Right? Yeah, we gonna pull that back up. Pull up. Oh wait, I can do this normally. Wait, I forgot. Hold on, one second. Pull up. You like that? I like that. You like that? I like that because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Rich LeBron, Nicole Lala, Micaiah Sanford, Albert. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. Demi Johnson, Linda Alvarez, Noel Noe, Espada. Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Mama Cohen, yeah, we see you all day long, yeah, because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I don't know if you guys call it that, but we got a bunch of birthdays to give out, right? I had no birthdays recorded for the 24th, for the 25th, it could be me, I could reminisce, right? But current Atlanta Hawks are up 197 minutes, 54 seconds to go. But that don't mean that we didn't have a whole bunch of birthdays to go ahead and get popping off with, right? We got a birthday shout out going on the 26th. So, whoa, Reggie, hold on, pull that up for me. Let's not leave them stranded, right? We got a birthday for the 26th, and that goes. We got a birthday for the. Hold on. That's that shit I'm talking about. I don't know if the video had sound this whole time. Ugh. The things I have to deal with. The things that keep happening to me. Why? Like, why you treat me so bad? Oh, man. But still again. And again. Because yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Richard, Nicole, Makia, Demi. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Nilda, Noel, Mama Cohen. Yeah, because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy. Okay, let's get these birthday shout outs out of the way and into the Ethernet for real, for real. Get it into the MyT zone. All right, we got a happy birthday for Richard LeBron. He had a birthday on the 26th. Want to say happy birthday to me. Yo, Richard happened to be one of the brothers I met when I got out the army down here in South Florida. He actually ended up going to a place that I used to be stationed in. Currently, he's living in Indianapolis, Indiana. Eating good, living good, fucking good, right? Since he's Reggie, you know I love you. Since he's moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, he has pushed out at least 7 more kids, taking full hold and responsibility of his Spanish heritage. Folks, we see you, Reggie. You keep it up. You keep pushing on the sticks and keep pumping up them kids, folks. Right? All right. Also, we got a birthday on the 27th. Now the 27th, but I think I have one of the birthday shoutouts that I had to write in here. Right? I want to say happy birthday, first and foremost, to Mama Cohen, right? She is the moms of of a couple of my best friends, brothers at that, right? Right, Vincent Jack, right? I want to say happy birthday to your moms as well. Every time I see your mom around, she always have the biggest smile on her face. Remember the one time I went over to the crib to go watch the Knicks game? You know what I mean? All open arms. It was all love. Love is love. Love. She comes around for sporting events, shows up to birthday celebrations, pool parties, all of them, right? Happy birthday to you, Mama Cohen. That you keep moving and keep trucking on. I want to see you for many, many more. Mwah. All right. Also want to say happy birthday to Makia how was that again? Shante Alpha, right? Army brethren of mine when I was stationed with them in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What's going on, Pimpin'? Right? Oh, we look like the Philadelphia 76ers just took the league. 18.6 seconds left, folks. Game is now 101-100. Eagle 76ers are up. They have gone now to a timeout. We'll keep you guys posted. Who we got here? Are we popping buck? I forgot I seen you the last time on my feed. I forgot what the hell I thought your name was. Right? But I'm tripping. I was tripping. I was tripping. Well, guys, just go to We Poppin'. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you checking us out. Right? So listen, Makia happened to be a homegirl of mine since my army days. We were stationed together at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Right, help show me the business. I also remember she had a fat old booty too, like and a decent sized rack if I didn't remember. Cute face, right, like chubby cheeks. If I remember correctly, she also had a gap. I had a thing for chicks with gaps. So don't even ask me why. I had a thing for chicks with a gap. Hey, what's going on, Jack? I was just telling your mom's happy birthday. I know Mama Cohen's birthday just passed. We was just giving her birthday shout out. Just missed it. You just missed it. I'm not saying it again, but we still in the birthday celebration time, so you'll hear a piece of it. You share with them more. You tell me to hear this out. Right? Also want to say happy birthday to Demi Johnson. Demi Johnson is also another Army brethren of mine. I think I know her from, I want to say North Carolina as well. I want to say we were stationed in Bragg together as well. But I also want to say maybe we were stationed in Indiana. Don't know. It's one of the two. I definitely don't think it was Germany, or it could be Germany. I was really drunk in Germany, and there was a lot of drugs involved. There was a lot of alcohol involved in Germany. It really was. Like, I apologize. Like we was helping save the country completely and absolutely, utterly destroyed for at least 22 hours a day, 22.6 and a third. Keep that rolling. Yeah, let's get that going. Let's keep it going. Let's get the birthday shout-outs going, right? We also have a birthday shout-out to Nilda Alvarez. Now, Nilda Alvarez. My bad. I didn't see that right. You know I don't got my glasses, right? I try to look cool on the podcast. I'm not trying to wear the shades on. I'm trying to have the eyes go low. Because, like, when I yeah, we don't keep it, right? Nilda, we tried to invite her on the podcast some time ago, right? If you guys can go catch on her page, like she's always doing Star Wars review and always doing collectibles of rare figurines, right? Go check her out. I'm pretty sure she has a collectible that you would be impressed about if you are in the collection business. So happy birthday to her as well. And then we got birthday for today. And then we got one single solitary birthday for today. And that is tomorrow. Actually, no, I lies. I keep forgetting to write somebody down. You look, I remembered you. It's another brethren of mine, right? But I have birthday for Noel Espada. Yeah, like the villains from, not the villains. They were the villains in Bleach. Now they're the allies, but like just like from Bleach, Espada, right? Noel Espada. Actually, that's one of my homeboys' brethren, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like blood from another mother, like blood thicker than water, and only in certain cases you need water to live. You know that in the basics. Like, he's one of them to one of my brethren, right? And if I'm not mistaken, he also got like 22 kids too, right? So I want to say shout out to happy birthday to Noel and all of his 22 kids. Also, we trying to get him on the podcast too. He be hitting us up talking about, hey yo, I want to come on the show. But every time I hit him up with a little invite, I gets no response. We gonna see if we finally get a response from him. Like, we should be on the air right now, talking about how the Redzone got flooded by the Dolphins. How you get flooded by fins? We're gonna get into that a little bit later. And the last birthday we got for this segment, folks, is a birthday to my boy Sharon Bruce Tego. Listen, I got a lot of stories from about my boy Sharon, but the biggest story to take out of it is that he's one of those dudes, one of the kindest hearts ever. Don't speak loud for shit. He's like my brother, right? Like you gotta really pay attention to what the fuck he's saying, right? Because he talks kind of low. He's kind of country with it, and like, man, dog, like, how you doing, man, dog? like, put it this way, like the way he talks, he could be a pimp. In a former lifetime, he probably was a pimp. Right now, he's just a brethren of mine. But nah, Sean happened to be a brethren of mine that we served together in Germany. Right, so this has been years, folks. You understand? If I'm talking about I served together with anybody, you'll realize I've already been out since 2006. So we're talking about these are connections that I've held on to for at least 16 years, and in my own little way. Even though we don't communicate and we don't contact, we don't do like these little things that people hold on to. What I do is I make sure that I give them love the way that I show love, right? And that's through the podcast. And Jabari, my boy Zeus. Hold on. And let's finish up this birthday. You know what? So, listen, let's go and get this wrapped up, right? So, to Richard and to Nicole. Wait, did I give Nicole a shout out? Nicole Lala? She had a birthday on the 26th, homegirl of mine. We used to party with back in the days. Ooh. Every time I hear her name, like images. Oh, look at the girls twerking on the stage. Oh shit, where the big girls at? Where the big girls out? Let them flop. But oh shit, the Philadelphia 76ers are now up 103 to 100, folks. Listen, and the 3 points that they are outscoring, you understand, this game, let's just make it real simple. This game was tied coming into the fourth quarter. That's how close this game was. So the 3-point difference that you're seeing now is just them outscoring them by 3 points in this quarter. 19 for Atlanta, 22 for Philly. Let's go. I hear you for the second time. You ready to wrap this segment up? I got you. Right. So to Richard and to Nicole, to Makia, to Demi, to Nildia, to Noel, to Sharon. We want to wish you all a happy birthday. Hope you party hard. The weekend just passed, and you guys had a whole 4-day weekend. Right. So I hope you enjoyed everything, regret nothing, party hard, get your weekend at Bernie's on. You continue to stay. Talk to
MyT!
MyT. Wait, Mama Cohen too. Let's not forget Mama Cohen in there. My bad, Mama Cohen. I didn't have you written down, but I had committed your birthday shout out to memory to make sure it was extra special. Alrighty, folks. Let's continue to roll up and roll out. right? And let's get into some local sports, right? Let's go local for a little while, right? Like let's stay. Let's do a little 305 to my city, right? You know, where we get it, right? Like if you get it, you get it. It's like if you know, you know. If you get it, you get it. And if you get it, then you know that we actually never really go into our first topic of the day that smoothly. Not without our MyT topic of the day. And our MyT topic of the day has been revolved around one
MyT!
There we go. Our MyT topic of the day has been revolved around one person for the last 200 and it is now, what day are we on? 200 and now, for shizzle, 284 days that Brittany Griner has now been wrongfully incarcerated, right? And remember, this is the word. This has been the title that's been given by our government. So let's not get into politics here, right? So his Brittany Griner has been wrongfully incarcerated. We just like to keep her in our thoughts and prayers and keep her in memory, right? As she goes through this incarceration, to make sure that she is not forgotten too often. Like I said, just because that she is not one of our male superstars, that sometimes that you don't constantly hear the outcry and the outrage that will go on. That would be shared for somebody with the kind of resume that Brittany Griner has. And when I say the kind of resume that Brittany Griner has, we mean that the fact that she is a champion, an 8-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champion, 8-time block leader, 2-time peak performer, 3-time first team, 3-time second team, 2-time defensive player of the year. Now let me point this out, because I know we was thinking about this the other day, and I thought I was right, and I double checked and I backed up. Scoring leader and defensive player of the year. For somebody to win a scoring championship and also be defensive player of the year. I think I was still correct when I said the last two people that that have done this to memory was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. For a second I thought Giannis did it, but Giannis didn't become scoring title. He won a championship. So think about this. Champion, scoring leader, defensive player of the year. Not many of your stars that you guys love, call greats, goats, one to give your flowers to, right? Not many of them have those three accolades on their resume. Some may have defensive player of the year and champion. Some may have scoring leader and champion. Not many even have scoring leader and defensive player of the year on there. No. You'll find it hardest to find a combination in those two. You see Ndamukong Suh, Philadelphia Eagle, I'm over here at the game in Philly. There's also somebody else on the bench. I don't know who the fuck that is. But he looks familiar. I thought that was a TikTok dude. I was like, God damn, that TikTok money is good? It's almost as good. Ooh. As that motherfucking drink. Right, so we'll always make sure she's not forgotten about, because the one thing that we always keep in mind is that if she was a male superstar with that same resume, that a day wouldn't go by that you wouldn't hear an outcry about her. Now, granted, while we don't hear about it in the NBA, we do hear about it in the WNBA every single game. So they are doing the right thing with making sure that it is promoted and not forgotten about on their platform. And that's really the best thing that you can do. You can't depend on others, even big bro NBA, to come in here and be like, okay, God damn, Boston is blowing out Charlotte 132-92. What other game is even worth watching right now? Like, that's still kind of early. Bulls in Utah. I don't really care so much about that. Is that Orlando game done? Brooklyn Orlando? Okay, let's watch Brooklyn Orlando. It's a 7-point game. About 7 minutes to go left to go in the fourth quarter. I can do that. Like I said, I want to see Banchero and see how he plays. So again, I'm gonna wrap this up, right? Let's just keep Brittany Griner in your thoughts and prayers, right? And let's just hope that she's able to come home as fast and as safe as humanly possible to this point. She has already been incarcerated longer, or wrongfully detained, I should say, longer than the average soldier deploys. So, you understand, like, there's gonna be a level of like PTSD that she's gonna come away with. Not to mention that, as we mentioned recently, as Kevin Durant just fouled Banchero, as he went to go shoot over him, but he had put that hang time on him, did the little fade back, started getting parallel to the ground. Kevin Durant continued to come through, extended the arm a little bit, had it come down just enough for the referees to call a foul. Alright, so very recently, Brittany Griner was transported and she was moved to another facility. And her new destination, it was unknown to her lawyer, unknown to her mate, and unknown to almost the whole entire American public, right, where they were moving her to. And also where they moved her to, there was also no contact either for some reason. Well, it comes to find out where they moved her to would be the equivalent to a maximum security prison for some of your worst violent offenders. Now, I know they're not deeming Brittany Griner a terrorist or a threat to national security. So again, this is Russia just posturing, trying to show their might and their will, because since day one, they were just trying to use somebody like Brittany Griner so that they can try to leverage negotiations to try to free up one of their, my back is spasming, illegal arms dealers. So again, like I said, Brittany Griner throws up the MyT symbol. Let's hope that she stays strong through this endeavor, and let's just hope that she comes home with as little, and we really do mean as little emotional damage as possible, and physical damage as well. But I'm hoping that she could hold her own, and if somebody like tries to fuck with her, well, like she could just like Andre the Giant, the motherfucker, like or Undertaker them bitches just choke slam them to a table or some shit, like, you know. But we know that's not gonna be the case. So let's just hope that she gets home safe. Let's continue to roll up and roll out, and let's really get it. Let's get into it now, right? A little 305 in my city, right? Let's. I am really baffled by myself today, right? Let's get into a little Knicks talk, right? I know when things ain't looking good and you're looking for a little spark in the dark. Here come your boy MyT with a little Knicks talk. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Knicks talk this week is a little surprising to me, right? Hey, yo, cue my song up. Let's get this started. I'm gonna keep this lighthearted because it's too early in the season to have deep-rooted conversations about the New York Knicks, right? So let's get into my Knicks talk. I'm on Twitter the other day. Forgot what tomfoolery I was doing, bullshitting around, and I said to myself, I'm about to put on a statement on Twitter, and I wanted to tag Tom Thibodeau for some reason. I hope it was Twitter. It could have been Instagram. Let's stick with Twitter for right now. And when I go to tag Tibs, I get this weird ass message. Oh no. This is what it was. That was what it was. I was looking to tag Tibs in a message, and I couldn't figure out what his handle was. I'm searching for him, I can't find it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go on the Google machine, Google Tom Thibodeau's Twitter handle. I gets it. I pulls it up. Then I get a nice little message. Tom Thibodeau's account has been suspended for violations. I'm like, what the Is this how you do? I'm like, I can understand why Facebook, let's let you guys know right now, me and Facebook is beefing right now. Facebook currently has me suspended. And I'm off with suspension. But right now, all of my posts will be at the bottom of people's feeds, it says. You guys are being gay. Well, I'm sorry. I forgot, that's not the proper term to openly describe a group of things that somebody could be, because it has miscellaneous meanings. You guys are being unruly. You guys are being ass bags. You guys are being douches, right? You guys are being real sensitive about this shit. Especially since none of them, except for the one where I said, you know, he should have got shot in the face. And I forget what that was about. I think that was about like a pedophile or some weird shit like that. And they were still like, hey, that goes against our community standards. Like, we all hate them, but you can't talk about shooting them in the face. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess we won't be popping them. But yeah, the most recent thing that they banned me for is just because I said our dynamic entry of priest. Like, seriously? You can't take a joke? You can't take a joke? And I want to know who are these people that are reviewing, right? Like your appeals. Cause I appeal everything, right? I've won a couple. I've lost a couple too, obviously. But I want to know the people that are reviewing this appeal. So I want to know if when they look at the comments and they look at what it's in reference to, if they feel like this is so lighthearted, like how dare you take this as a serious violent gesture? But apparently, I'm not just violent in real life. I'm violent on Facebook too, on social media. Joke, I'm not violent in real life at all. Like violence is not what I do. Try to take a look at that. Yeah, so, we looking good. We looking good. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, Ma heard this. Ma heard that. Ma heard this. Ma heard that. I don't know what the fuck these are. I'm gonna end up like dyeing these red and turn these into horns or some shit. Like seriously. So Tom Thibodeau, yeah, his account gets suspended, and I'm over here looking like, yo, not my coach, like not my coach getting his account suspended. Like I'm really curious. Kevin Durant's dropped 43 points tonight, 102-96 over Atlanta. 3 minutes left to go in the game. And I'm really over here wondering to myself, like, yo, what could Tom Thibodeau have done to honestly get himself suspended? Like, I know I'm reckless, but what could he have done? Like, was he scolding a player on social media? Like was he coaching? Like, Banchero finding the cutting man. You see ball going to Kevin Durant contesting the shot, but not being able to get to it. Kyrie Irving officially has 5 personal fouls as they send. Is that Banchero? Yep, they send Banchero back to the line. Manjaro. Still a 6-point game as he misses his first. Manjaro. You ain't nothing but a dog. Now, the Knicks recently had a couple of good bounce back games, right? After a bad loss, after a recent bad loss, they end up coming back and getting themselves a nice little victory. You see Jalen Brunson really having a good game. I'm gonna have to, and it's early. It's 20 games in, so now is right around the time to really start to hear. I really want to hear now how the Knicks fans are feeling. I'm gonna be tuning into a couple of podcasts like Knicks Wall, Knicks Hoop TV, things like that. You know, a place where I know like Knicks fans like to call into and get their rocks off. Yeah, big shout out to them, right? Because those guys are a big source, and there's a whole bunch of them, right? There's about like 3-4 of them, right? In that sphere, like I'm trying to break into that sphere, to be honest with you, right? I'm trying to get into that inner circle. I'll let your boy, Mighty Sports Podcast. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be that Kirk Cousins to your group. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the Kyrie to your group. like, yo, I'm gonna get shit done. I'm gonna push my units. Just let you know, I'm gonna be the most controversial person like on the team. Kevin Durant with a nice little 1-footer that misses, but he gets a nice little putback by Clayton. I was about to call him Klay Thompson or something else. Klay Thomas, I was about to call him. But I was thinking about Cam Thomas. Or Cameron Thomas. Right. So, the Knicks get a bounce back win. And I'm curious, more than anything else, to start hearing how Knicks fans are going to start taking the season. Right? This is going to be an up and down season. But I'm going to tell you probably the one thing that I saw was, thank God that Jalen Brunson is healthy. Is the other day Jalen Brunson had a phenomenal game. Phenomenal. Completely phenomenal. And it's probably the game that we need from Jalen Brunson every game. If Jalen Brunson, for some odd reason of respect or team camaraderie, right? Not wanting to step on anybody's toe. You know the things I'm talking about, right? Or the things that I'm alluding to here, right? If any one of those things have been lingering in his mind, right? Actually, I lied. Let's see, we had to bounce back with against the Thunder, but then we lost to the Trailblazers and lost to the Grizzlies. That's what happened. That's right. Lost to the Grizzlies the other day. Decent game still, though. Decent game still, though. But, and that was a 127-123 loss. Was that the overtime game? Did that game go into overtime? I can't remember if that game went into overtime or not. So, let's compare. 9 for 20. 9 out of 11 from the free throw line. 27 points. 8 for 20. 11 for 12 from the line. 30 points. That was the battle of the point guards. And Jalen Brunson came out scoring more points. Now, probably the first thing that I've been noticing, right? Or the first thing I could probably say. If the New York Knicks are going to be successful as Knicks fans, some delusional Knicks fans may think they're going to be, as the Knicks organization hope to be, this is going to excuse me. This is going to have to be Jalen Brunson's numbers every night. We're going to have to expect 30. Let's call it 26 and a half. 7-7. 6-6 at worst. 8-6 maybe. 8-5. 26 and a half. 8 assists. 5 rebounds. That's probably going to have to be Jalen Brunson's number. And the thing about it, Jalen Brunson is capable of it. And probably a whole lot more. We've seen it. So Jalen Brunson is kind of being a little timid, kind of falling back because he wants to make sure the other guys don't feel too intimidated or feel too lost or get offended. I think we're past that. Like I said, I'm going to be curious to hear how Knicks fans are really feeling. I know when I talk to Knicks fans so far, a lot of things that they talk, I've heard complaints about Emmanuel Quickley's minutes versus Derrick Rose's. I've heard complaints about Cam Reddish, which I don't quite get, because Cam Reddish is getting the 6th most minutes on the Knicks right now. And a lot of times he's finishing games for them. Decent amount of times. So there's a few things that I'm going to be curious to hear what the actual complaints are about this current Knicks squad. Because I'm not seeing a lot of things to complain about outside of the fact that you just don't quite have the necessary talent for it to win all these games. And it's weird because the New York Knicks have the kind of talent that, believe this or not, from what I just said, that can average the same amount of points that the Big Three did for the Miami Heat. And I'm going to say this even further. When the New York Knicks Big Three, right, put up 70 to 75 points total between the three of them, that's when they win the majority of their games. So, it's not just Jalen Brunson. It's Julius Randle needs to continue to be more consistent. And so does RJ Barrett. Because those are going to be the next two guys in line. Those are going to be the next two guys that you're looking at, okay, I'm going to need you to be the guys that score 20 plus points a game. At least 18. Until Quentin Grimes comes up to speed. And I don't know what they saw in Quentin Grimes, but I feel like we still haven't seen remotely the best of Quentin Grimes in a good way, in a scary good way. Right? Look at that. Banchero is as tall as Kevin Durant. If he's not taller, and he's thicker than him. Ooh, Kevin Durant on the man-to-man defense. Ooh, full court. Taking the cookies. Give me those. And then the Slim Reaper gonna put you to sleep. As his head barely even gets underneath the rim. When you got 8 foot long arms. Alright, this game is done. Let's look for something else. Let's go find something else to hunt and fulfill our appetite. I could go back to Monday Night Football, but, oh, God. I'd rather watch the second half of that game where that game is starting to look good than anything else. Let's get into the third quarter of New Orleans versus Oklahoma City. I think that will please me for right now. Cleveland lost to Toronto 188. That was surprising. Right now, if I said let's go, this is a 4-point game with with the Pelicans versus Houston. And I have been really interested to see Zion Williamson this year. And I've been interested to see Zion this year because of how good New Orleans has looked without him in the past years. Right? Year and a half. How they've learned to play and become better players without him in the rotation. So I'm curious to see Zion Williamson, to see how he can elevate now a team that is a perennial playoff contending team. Consistently. If he could come in here and start and really become that X factor that he was drafted to be. I'm also interested to see how well him and Brandon Ingram can form an on-the-court relationship of dominance. Because I believe that they have the right element of big man, wingman to be not just dominant players, but a dominant and a winning team in this league. So that's probably my biggest intrigue with Zion right now. Is because I want to see him complement the rest of this squad. Am I not being heard on Podbean? I am not being heard on Podbean. If it's not one thing, it's a motherfucking another. Word to my mother and my sister and my brother. It's always something everywhere. It's always something everywhere. Let's make sure I'm being heard on the one feed that I want to be heard on. Cause yo, for real, like if everywhere else I've been able to withstand. Like honestly, everywhere else I've been able to withstand up until right now. Right, like the video feed, that volume got muted somehow. Then the one that I generally use to help to also share live, right, and get my call-ins. And the thing about it, right, is that when nobody can't hear you, nobody comes in there and be like, "Hey, yo, we can't hear you." They just pop in and pop right the fuck back out. They're like, "You know what? Nope, they're there. Click, I'm gone." But let's see what happens now. I see the meter running. I see everything registering. Let's see if we can keep things flowing. So as of right now, even though the Knicks are sitting at 9-11, 2 games under 500, I don't know if I have much to complain about. Not yet. Knicks have played fairly well. They've had a few bad games here or there. Right, like a bad loss, or they've let up a little. They've had a few bad finishes here and there, a few bad games, but for the most part, they've had as good of a game as you're gonna get. They just don't win, or they just don't finish, and that's gonna be the next learning curve. Is this squad with Jalen Brunson learning how to finish and win games, because this is gonna be the squad, like hate it or love it, right? Underdogs on top kind of shit. This is the squad that you're looking at for the next, not this exactly, but these are the pieces for the next 3-4 years. Think like everybody's getting their dough. The only person really left is Tom Thibodeau to get his Thibodeau. Right? Mitchell Robinson got paid. Julius Randle already got paid. RJ Barrett got paid. Derrick Rose is gonna be on a year-to-year tip. Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin will get paid together. Quentin Grimes ain't get paid. Like he'll come up in a couple years after. Like, so you understand what I'm saying here? Like, the names that you're hearing now, expect to keep hearing. There it goes. Yeah, right there. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was picking at. I know you guys were like I'm crazy. But these are gonna be the names that we're gonna hear for the next 3-4 years or so. We won't stop hearing about RJ, Mitch, Obi, IQ, Rose, Grimes. These are going to be some of the names that we're going to keep hearing. We're going to still hear 3 years later. So it's in Brunson. So it's imperative that these guys kind of learn how to start winning together. Again, not much to complain about, but you can definitely see a couple of the faults that the Knicks have. And outside of probably, like I said, Jalen Brunson just not taking over enough as of right now. I'm telling you, he needs to bona fidely average at least 26.5 points per game. And I'm telling you, if he has to go full Kevin Durant, then he needs to go full Kevin Durant. Jalen Brunson needs to ball so hard that he's damn near a Knick All-Star. Like, that's how good he has to be. If this is going to be as successful as it needs to be, and this needs to be received as well as it needs to be. Because it being received well is also a very important thing. Yeah, and you can tell I'm droopy already. Yeah, I'm droopy already. I'm telling you right now. I just want to do the podcast just like this, and I'll be straight. But let's keep flowing, right? Not too much I have left to say about the Knicks. Like, they have a game coming up tomorrow against, who was that? I said it earlier. And it's a game that they should win if I saw this correctly. Who are they playing? Were they playing Detroit again? Yo, I swear to God. Hold on. This really can't be it. It really has been. Every time the New York... And this is twice now after we played Grizzlies that we played Detroit. It happened to start the season. Now it's happening right now. But now we've gotten the Grizzlies already taken care of. And we may have already played all 4 games against Detroit, which kind of sucks. Because Detroit so far has been that team that when the Knicks need a decent win to get back in stride, Detroit has been right there to take that L for us. I mean, so far, look at it, right? First game of the season, we played Memphis Grizzlies. That was a close game again, 115-112. If I remember correctly, Cam Reddish hit a late shot in that game to either tie it. There was a charge at the end by Jalen Brunson that he picked up against that he got on John Morant. So that was a good game as well too. But then we end up losing that game. But then who was right there waiting for us with open arms, willing to give us spread their legs and give us the dub? Detroit Pistons. And then the New York Knicks, like I said, went back and forth again. Then took a really bad loss to the Brooklyn Nets. Remember that, right? 112-85. But what happened right after that really bad Nets loss? It was good old Detroit ready to give us that treat down. Right? 121-112 victory after that. Then the third time around, you want to like, damn, yeah, we've already played. Wait, did I miss one? Did I skip one? There goes the one for Memphis. After Memphis. There goes the one for the Nets. Okay, this is only the third time. My bad. Okay, we played them in the preseason. Okay, I really thought we played them 4 times already, but I could have the preseason game stuck in my head as the third. Okay, and I don't know if this is one of the teams that we played 3 times or if we're gonna play them 4 times. So this could be the last time that we play Detroit, regardless. And here it comes again, right after another bad close loss to the Grizzlies, but not just a bad loss to the Grizzlies. This time we're coming off of 2 straight losses, right? Where we lost to the Timberwolves, we lost to the Trailblazers, and we lost to the Grizzlies. But who's gonna be waiting for us tomorrow night at 7 p.m.? Like an on-schedule booty call. Speaking of, let me make sure I take some time to say hello to somebody for the day. You know, it be making me realize something like, damn, yo, my communication skills sometimes is horrible. All right, let's continue. So the New York Knicks, they're going to have a good game, right? And right now, a lot of things aren't going to look easy for them. And I don't anticipate a lot of things looking easy. But hopefully they continue to beat the team that they should be. Now, speaking of making things look easy. That's right. There are the New York Jets. As the New York Jets came away with a nice little victory this weekend. And they weren't the only New York team to come away with a nice victory. Now, the only New York team in their stadium. Buffalo squeezed out a close game on Thanksgiving night. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's one of those few times I was sitting... Oh, my stomach just turned. One of those times I was sitting in the back and I was kind of rooting for Buffalo to lose. I really was. And I don't often do that. Especially when I know that they're good, right? I don't just like... right? But this year, with everything being up for grabs in the division... I was sitting there like, yo, I need let's see if we can get ourselves a nice little. If we can steal something here. Right, so, oh yeah, I gotta hit this person up too. Right, so, when it comes to making things look easy, the New York Jets made a hard decision. The New York Jets went from Zach Wilson to Mike White. Basically, Wilson has been whitewashed. And he ain't the only Wilson that may need to be whitewashed. Ooh. The New York Jets put in Mike White. And Mike White had a hell of a performance, right? And let's just get back to it, right? Zach Wilson. Let's back up just a little bit. Let's back up just a little bit.
Good means rewind, a gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
Yeah, you need to get on my naughty side. Super Sam Jr. I know the suntan Superman. Any relation? The New York Jets. The New York Jets. They made a move and they had to bench Zach Wilson. My bad. But that's what it feels like. It feels like a Carson Wentz kind of scenario, right? Where one quarterback lost the locker room because, and you know what? It really just hit me. It wasn't even Carson Wentz and Nick Foles that's popping into my head. It's RG3 and Kirk Cousins. And how I remember at one point in time that Kirk Cousins had that locker room over RG3 because RG3 was RGIIIIIIIIII. Like it was really all about him. But now you see the scenario kind of played out in Philly, right? You got the young quarterback that is supposed to be the future, but the locker room ain't feeling him for nothing. They're not feeling him. They're not believing in him. They're like, oh, you thought I was feeling you? Put that nigga on the bench. Treat him like Carson Wentz. Right? So now you get this scenario where the starting QB, there's no love for it. I got nothing but love for it, babe. What you got? None. But the backup, though, unconditional. You understand? They're looking at him without you. My life is incomplete. Oh, yeah. Good sports should be disconnected. Oh, look at that. See, look at that. The phone knows. The phone knows. Okay, let's get back to the football game. Let's see what's going on there. Since we talking Jets, right? Since we talking can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. Somebody tell Doja Cat. I'm trying to indulge. No, seriously. Somebody tell Doja Cat I'm trying to indulge in that for real. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going left field. I really catch myself liking a lot of Doja Cat songs. And I forgot what song it was recently. Right? But, oh man. Was it the one that she has like that Egyptian theme to it? I think it was that song recently she did. And I was like, yo, I really like this. And then another one came out, right? And the Caillou, whatever that Caillou song was, right? Give it to me, yeah. I don't want it back. Give it to me, yeah. I don't want it back. Give it to me. Like that one, I started liking. And then I'm like, I was like, yo, who? I'm like, it's all this Doja Cat. Now, granted, even then, after I realized it was Doja Cat, I still had another epiphany to come across. Right? Because I'm realizing, I told my home, like, yo, I really like Doja Cat. He's like, yo, you would like that cow chick. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the same Doja Cat, the cow chick? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yo. Nothing even. I'm like, I watched that cow chick. Again, I'm like, it doesn't even give me off the same vibes. And now she got that new song. I've been singing it this whole entire time. I give it to me, yeah, in my head. You ain't nothing but a yeah. Yeah. You ain't nothing but a like that joint, like that is my jam. See Will trying to come up here and talk. Let's drop Will a line. Let's see how for real he is, right? Because you know what I do, right? I bring the people, I get them involved. But you know, sometimes you gotta test everybody's metal. Everybody be like, yo, I want to get on. Or like, yo, let's talk. No one, I got a sports podcast, right? Let me tell you what he said. He gonna hit me up like, yo, let's talk music. Why does everybody want to come on my sports show and talk everything? Like, why is their first suggestion everything besides sports? Like, if you guys want to, let me stop. Let me be nice, right? Because my man's in them, and I was being facetious, right? Cause not towards him or anything else, but to everybody else. Like, if you want to talk something else on your on a thing, like, just start a show. That's all you gotta do. Can I find him one day? All right. So let's continue to roll up, right? And talk about these New York Jets. They came up with a nice dub, and it's been so weird as happened to Zach Wilson, all right, of him losing the locker room, because he hasn't lost the locker room like his other namesake, right, has lost the locker room, Russell Wilson. Right? He hasn't lost the locker room like he has. It's just that you can see that the offense doesn't quite click the same. The play calling isn't trusted the same. And even when it's the same plays, the same average outcome, not the outcome, average outcome isn't the same. And even though usage and targets weren't, and that really looked bad, right? That wasn't the same. Now, you know what they always say, right? People are always willing to overlook a lot of things until they're losing, right? So while they're winning, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, we're winning, fuck it. But the moment we start losing, they're like, yo, why aren't you using me more? And that was Garrett Wilson. After the New England loss, he decided to come on and speak about, hey, what, like, I'm being made look like a bum out here because our quarterback can't find me. And it was weird, right? We thought Garrett Wilson would have an explosive year this year because we saw what Joe Flacco did with him. And we still like, yo, Flacco can do this with him. If Zach Wilson is sitting there on the bench watching, then he should learn, like, listen, let me get the ball to my playmaker. And as long as I get the ball to my playmaker, good things will happen. Now, unfortunately, with Garrett Wilson, when Zach Wilson came in, his go-to target happened to be the running back that got injured, Bryce Hall. After Bryce, he never identified a passing target, really. Again, you would think, oh, here goes a second opportunity for you to find your wide receiver stud. No, he doesn't. But let's also bring into perspective the fact that Zach Wilson was 5-2. Those 2 losses have come against Bill Belichick. They've come against the Billy Goat. I'm gonna check your habits. I'm gonna check your guts. I'm gonna check your will. I'm gonna check your everything. I'm gonna check your bell. And he got chin checked. He rang his bell twice now. Bill Belichick can make any rookie quarterback look mediocre. Can make any rookie quarterback look like Jamarcus Russell. But it's the games against Bill Belichick weren't the catalyst, right? They were the straw that broke the camel's back. Everybody has looked better in this offense except for everybody has looked good in this offense except for anybody named Zach Wilson. Out of 3 quarterbacks, Zach Wilson has been the worst. It's the same way I talk about Kyrie Irving in Boston. Every other point guard did better than Kyrie Irving in Boston except for Kyrie. Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, Ronnie Telfair. It was Ronnie Telfair. I forget his name. He went to Charlotte, whatever. Every single last one of them did better. And it's not even the poor using this. It's the lack of attempts. It's the lack of even trying. It's the lack of even looking that way. Because again, you see that immediately, game 1 of a quarterback not named Zach Wilson gets to line up and play with Garrett Wilson, and it's 80+ yards and 2 touchdowns. It's getting the balls to your playmakers and letting them do business. It's making the easy look easy. That was such a big statement, right? That was such a big statement by the coach. It was like when I'll tell you, I'm liking this coach. I am liking this coach, and like Tom Thibodeau, I hope they empower him. And they allow him to be here for 10 years. Like, I really hope so. Because he came out and he just flat out said, oh, let's try this. I forgot to put this on. Right? He came out and he flat out said, okay, just want to make sure I was following me. Right? He came out and he flat out said, Pittsburgh Steelers coach, why do you like this guy? He doesn't kill us. Al Salah said, Rob Salah? Rob Salah. Coach Salah said, he made the easy look easy. Which means Zach Wilson was making the easy look hard. Because Zach Wilson was bored by the easy and only found pleasure in the hard. Pause. So now, remember last year, one of the big things about between White and Zach Wilson is like, okay, we kind of know what White is. We don't need to see more of White. We don't need to see more Joe Flacco. We don't need to see more of guys that don't matter. Well, now you have a team that can actually win, and it's no longer about being able to see this from an individual or see it. No, right now is, you know what? Let's maximize this time while we have this window, because great defenses don't last for 2 decades. Right? Great defenses don't, unless you get Ray Lewis on your team. But generally, great defenses don't last for 2 decades because the defensive anchor on that squad isn't there for 2 decades. When you draft your quarterback, you kind of expect him now to be there for 2 decades. At least 10, 15 years. You don't even expect your defense to be solid like that for 10, 15 straight years. It made me wonder how long before another Green Bay quarterback makes their way to New York. I've been wondering this again. I wonder this is now about also Jimmy G. I can see now, it's not even that I want to be short-sighted with this team. With football, you're not really allowed to have that much more patience, right? Depending on what side of the ball, depending on where your strengths lie. Because for most teams, right, if your strength is in, let's say, a defense, cornerback, wide receiver, running back, right, you may only expect them for 5-7 years, which means your window is still short. You got to find the right pieces or the right quarterback for them still. You have the right quarterback, you have the right piece for 15 years, hopefully. And that's the foundation you could build around. As long as he's constantly also willing to be coached. See, that's going to be the difference that people are going to misinterpret between some really good quarterbacks that we've seen and some of the great ones. Even the great ones allow themselves to be coached. While the good ones became too arrogant too early and thought they didn't need coaching. I think I don't need to go much further for you guys to understand some of the people I'm talking about here. But since you probably need me to help put it together, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning allowed themselves to be coached. Even as good as they were, still allowed themselves to be coached. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers doesn't allow themselves to be coached. Thought they got a little too good or too great for the game. I don't think we would think any one of them is greater than is smarter than Peyton Manning. So it's weird, right? It's weird when you see it. That Zach Wilson was really ruined by the Billy Goats, Bill Belichick. And that could be done, and he can do that to almost any young quarterback. We thought he was going to do it to Kirk Cousins last night. To be honest with you. And all you saw, like I said, was the easy being easy. Right? White to Wilson. 46 yards. Easy. White to playmaker. Yardage. Easy. Don't overthink. Don't have to try to look for the guy that has to go 50 yards down because, like, okay, you want him to run and keep going. Like, no, that happens every once in a while. You see, even Patrick Mahomes couldn't get away with that. That he had to learn how to slice and dice and pick teams apart. Now, this goes back to sometimes quarterbacks just need to sit down a little bit longer and study some more. You thought Zach Wilson had enough time to sit and study? No, maybe he needs a bit more. Or maybe he just not is the guy. Last year we talked about Mike White and how we don't need to see him and how we don't need to see Joe Flacco, right? But now you're looking at it, it's like, okay, have we early on identified who should be at least a starter on this team that is as it's currently constructed. And if you're trying to get dubs, then yeah, I think we have to go with Mike White. And for the Jets fans, we're still on pace. Right now, there's 6 games left now. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing a comparison, right, to see how the playoff picture is still looking. So expect that on Wednesday, as well as MyT trivia. Excuse me. But before we get that, let's continue right through the fight in my city. And then, like I said, so Mike White's numbers. Let's give those to you, right? Do we have those available? Right? Because complimentary football is great complimentary football on both ends. And we've seen it. When the defense does good, right, does well, but does a phenomenal job, right, holds their own, all they want is for the quarterback is the quarterback and the offense to do the same. It's for the quarterback and the offense to take advantage of the short field. To take advantage of their hard work, that 3 and out. And reward them with a scoring drive. Or reward them with not having to go 3 and out. You saw that with Mike White. Now, the scenario. Now, who you didn't see that from was Russell Wilson. To attain to the point that his defense is cussing him out. And it looks like all Russ can look and say was like, yeah, I got you. I got you. I understand your pain. I got you. Oops, my bra. Now, Mike White ended up putting up 22 for 28, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. When we're talking about top performers of the week, Mike White comes in at number 5 for the New York Jets. So he did his job. 149.3 passer rating. Was that the highest rated? We have to look into that another time. So even though Mike White may not have been the guy that we wanted to see because we wanted to make sure that we're getting what we need from Zach Wilson, I think we figured it out. I think early on we figured it out because I know what you're saying, but I know what you want. You want, like, we say that we want that we would like to see the growth of Zach Wilson, but what you want is the W's, really. And what you want is for the quarterback not to be the reason that you're not getting W's. So we'll see how long it takes before the New York Jets switches us back around. Because like I said, the worst thing that Zach Wilson has done so far in the last month is have to play Bill Belichick twice. And have Bill Belichick expose every single weakness and deficiency that you've ever even dreamt of having. But I said it's all not for naught. 6 games left. I said it at the bye week. I'm gonna say it again now because now we've played 2 games since then. The Jets only got to go 500. They go 500. To me, they've taken care of their business. You let all sleeping dogs lay. And we have to try to keep pace with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, right? Try to stay ahead of the New England Patriots, keep pace with the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. So it's not going to be an easy task based off of how all of these teams have been playing in our division. Current playoff picture right now, the Jets right now are holding the 6th spot, if I'm not mistaken. Not that 7th wild card spot, right now the 6th spot. So, Phantasmo. There's still hope for the Jets. And I'm going to say this. While I may be disappointed if the Jets don't make the playoffs, I'm not heartbroken. I wasn't expecting them to make the playoffs this year. As of right now, I can honestly say that the fact that the New York Jets are basically are guaranteed to be a 500 team or above 500 team is win enough. And that's on the low end, because based off the expectations coming into this year, I don't know, your expectations should change as things go on, but no, let's stay how it was in the beginning of the year, so you don't break your heart. Because like I said, right now I may get disappointed if they don't make the playoffs, but my heart isn't going to be broken if they don't, because their win expectancy wasn't this high, even to begin with. 8 wins was if they did everything right. 9 wins was if they did everything right. Like, you understand? Like, we're playing with the clit of 11 wins. You know what we say, so a win's a win. A win's a win. A win's a win. And you can win too with Blue Chew. Folks, what is Blue Chew? I'm glad you asked. Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you need to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. With the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. And listen, for a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my very, 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 very active, I see you guys, sturdy, reusable, not reusable, first time users only, promo code of GSSS. Golf, Sierra, Sierra, Sierra. Again, Golf, Sierra, Sierra, Sierra. Like you know what? When you're in there, but the hit him with the Alright, if you use our promo code, you'll be able to get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Wait, yo, did this say free? Yes! For the free. You, Blue Chew. It's only 2 instructions. You chew it, and then, bow, wow, wow. You do it. Boom, boom, tss, boom, 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 tss, boom. Listen, how you do it is up to you. What's going on? Chill, Will. See you popping up on the podcast. It's been a minute. Uh-oh. Got Chill Will calling in. Let's get Chill Will on the line. Yeah. Let's see if we can get Chill Will in here. We just sent him the invite to... Oh. Shit. Maybe I didn't. Let's try this again.
Shit, man.
There he goes. Gotta figure it out. What's going on, Pippin?
Drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, if you're gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Don't you guys forget Blue Chew. You chew it and do it. What's going on, Pimp?
What up, man? What's good with you?
I'm good. You know, we're over here about to start the second segment of not second segment, the second half of the show, real quick. You know, I mean, we just talked. We just got through from our Blue Chew commercial. You know, trying to keep people in their, you know, in functioning like they were functioning in their prime. And speaking of prime, you know, we got some people's in prime position right now. One no other than primetime Deion Sanders. As he was as you guys know, Yes, and he's not only he's you just got muted. Why you just muted? What just happened there? As you guys know, Deion Sanders is the coach now to Jackson State, and since he's been coaching Jackson State University, they have been the best HBCU now for 2 years and running. Now, because of that, it is of no surprise that Deion Sanders is getting a. You're still on mute, you will, if you're talking or if you're listening. I don't know what happened. Now, it's no surprise that somebody of Deion Sanders' popularity, somebody as with Deion Sanders' stature, and also now with Deion Sanders' coaching resume, right, that he would be looked at by bigger schools, Power 5 schools at that. And now you're starting to hear the offers starting to come in. And they're not the only ones. You hear an offer coming in from Colorado, right, to see if Deion Sanders would like to coach there. And it's a couple of things here, right? Because we all know the man, and that's Deion Sanders. And we know the school that he's currently coaching, and that's Jackson State. We hear who the offer's from, and that's Colorado. What we tend to forget is what we've heard Deion Sanders' mission being. And I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, Deion Sanders' mission is to help build up the HBCU program. And that can't be done if he does it for 2 years and he leaves. No, Deion Sanders needs to be synonymous with HBCU for the next 15, 20 years almost. Like, you don't think about HBCU without even thinking about Deion. Or you don't think about Deion Sanders without thinking about HBCU. I think that would be an easier way to help cement what he has started. Because that was supposed to be his mission, that I thought. Get HBCUs recognized. Get them more publicity, consistent publicity. Get them eating at the same table as these power conference schools. Well, this school was getting some of those deals initially just because Deion Sanders was their head coach. What happens if Deion Sanders goes somewhere else? See, now, so this is where now the issue comes in. And it may not be an issue. It's just an interesting topic at that. If Deion Sanders is true to his mission and he doesn't leave, and I'm happy. Because that means he's doing what he has said he's supposed to do. If he leaves and he goes to a bigger school, then I know that this could be the conspiracy theorist in me thinking that, you know what, this is just exactly what they want to do. Make sure that they get eyes back off of HBCUs. Because the moment Deion Sanders leaves and he goes back into a nice little snowy Colorado school, you know what I mean, filled with bunnies and cocaine, then that little HBCU that he was the head of, and the HBCU schools that he was helped represent, they get to fall back to the wayside all over again. And all that money that was coming in there no longer needs to go there because they don't have a Deion Sanders there to help represent them. So why do we even need to put our eyes there? See, and whatever you've done started, it gets outdone automatically, and now people want to come to Colorado, and you have just now continued the chain of just guys wanting to go to power conferences school, or of coaches not staying in places long enough to truly do what they said they were going to do for those boys and for that program. Remember, Deion Sanders isn't one of these guys that is almost more like Donald Trump in presidency. Deion Sanders is one of these guys that needs a coaching career. He's doing it just for the its and giggles or just because. Maybe for the love of it. And he's been real good at it. I would like to see Deion Sanders continue to be good at it. I mean, everybody wants him to leave, but how about he stays there and he becomes the Urban Myers. And I could be using the wrong name. No, am I using the wrong name? Urban Myers? Alabama coach. Right? I don't know, I'm forgetting his name. But he becomes like the Urban Myers of the HBC of Jackson State. You know, he becomes the. My audio is off on here. Oh, is that what happened? Is that why we lost each other? Huh. Okay. Let's see if the audio is.
Oh, I can. You in now?
Oh, okay. So I can hear you now.
Yeah, you good now. You good now.
So, like, I don't want him to leave. I want to see him become. What's the Alabama's coach?
Saban.
Yeah, I want to see him become the Nick Saban of Jackson State. I don't want to see him leave. Like I said, for him to leave now, just
I think so.
who Deion? He can.
That's not his MO.
Like I said, because I don't want to see him because if he says and I know that too often we hear coaches say one thing and mean something else, but I'm taking Deion Sanders by his word that he wants to build the HBCU program up, and if that's something that he wants to do, him being there for 2 years isn't doing it. Like it'll help. It helped get it eyes for 2 years. It may help get it eyes for another year and a half before it all continues to die right back down again. Because how many other 4-star, 5-star talented kids that can go to a power conference school is going to choose an HBCU that doesn't have Deion Sanders attached to it over a power conference school? They'll just go to the power conference that has Deion Sanders attached to it. If that's the case. So it's going to be interesting to see how this next process of collegiate coaching is handled by Deion Sanders. While I will be disappointed if he goes to Colorado, I can't be mad at him. It's the next progressive step up the professional ladder. Right? So I can understand him chasing the professional ladder. I'll be disappointed because he would have had the opportunity to do something really big for that HBCU program. Because can you imagine eventually if Deion Sanders does this for 10, 15 years and truly gets them what they need, truly gets them the money and the continuous eyeballs and the coaching and the notoriety and the 4-star and 5-star recruits. And next thing you know, like how they really wanted it to be in 10, 15 years, these HBCUs are as big as the Bamas, as big as the Clemsons. And it's all Chocolate City. We don't care if you have extra security during those games. Our band is going to be lit. What did Rowley say? My president is black and my Lambo is blue. Get the fuck out of my face before I smack the shit out of you. I was watching that clip earlier. Oh man, the Boondocks is pop. Yo, they bring back all of these old shows, and I really know I know they can't really keep the Boondocks around anymore, or make new ones of the Boondocks. But man, I miss the Boondocks. I really do. I really do. Like, who don't miss Rowley? Like, who don't miss Rowley? Like, if Rowley ain't your favorite character, like you just a hater. Like, seriously. Man, but as we talk about prime positions, right? Let's talk about some primetime players, right? Or as we like to call them, our MyT performers of this week. And this one is going to come to you with a little...
The MyT Fantasy Football Tips. Not winning tips, just tips. Just the tip? Just the tip. Just the tip.
Let's just say what I want involves much more than just the tips. Just the tips. What I want is much more than just the tips.
Okay, so we had a couple of big performers coming on this weekend. Let's do them right. Let's do them right because they really were balling.
Love to see it segment of the week. Give me that shit. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Like, we had some really, really, really big performers this week. All right? And we had some scrubby ass performances this week. Now, the reason why I wanted to start this off with a little fantasy football, right? Tip to it. Because it benefits me. Like, of course, why not, right? And in so many different ways. If you had Justin Fields on your fantasy football squad this week, what the hell were you thinking? And 2, he got you a donut. He got you 0 points. If I'm not mistaken, they end up having to play Trevor Siemian or some shit like that. Am I remembering this right? Yeah, they did end up playing Trevor Siemian. Did he even start? I can't remember if he even started now. All I know is the person I was playing me end up having him as the quarterback, and yeah, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. Wow, folks, we really had. Well, we said we had some big performers. We had some really big performers. Right. Let's start off with number 5. Right, of our MyT performers of the week. That goes out to the running back from Philly, not named Jalen Hurts, because that boy cleaned up too. And we're talking about on his feet. But number 5 on the list, Miles Sanders, 21 touches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns receiving as well. But folks, he was your number 5 fantasy football performer of the week, giving you in standard leagues a nice whopping 27 points. Right? Now we about to get real quarterback heavy after this. Right? And I was kind of surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I was kind of surprised. But you'll realize that most of these quarterbacks, they have a kind of a leg factor going on for them, right? We had Justin Herbert coming in at number 4, right? 35 for 47, 3 touchdowns, and I forgot to put his yardage down, right? And then he had 4 rushes for 38 yards. Then was the man of the hour, right? The man. You know my favorite quarterback of the year, right? That's just one Jalen Hurts. I don't know how Jalen Hurts is not everybody's favorite MVP right now. And like I said, he's my favorite quarterback, so I'm being a little bit biased. Listen, I understand. In some rooms, some people have Patrick Mahomes. In some rooms, some people may have Tua got a tongue twister. In my room, we keep it green over here, and I got Jalen Hurts. Ja. Yes, we have learned he is a Ja in this league. And he went off, folks. A pedestrian 16 for 28 through the air for 153 yards, but 2 touchdowns. But folks, 17 rushes. 17 rushes. For how many yards I told you Miles Sanders have? The running back on his team. 21 attempts for 143 yards. Jalen Hurts, folks. Jalen Anthony Hurts. $17 attempts. 156 yards. Yo. But 29 fantasy points. And that actually had him tied with Josh Allen for fantasy points. I looked at it, I was like, damn, that's all he got? That boy needed some more milk. But he's my quarterback. And right now in this league, I can honestly say Jalen Hurts is one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. As on Wednesday, we're going to talk about my top. I'm going to talk to you guys about my top 5 favorite NBA players in the league currently on Wednesday. Right now, as we talk a little bit more football heavy, Jalen Hurts is one of my favorite players in the league. And I know you sound like, yo, T, like he was kind of one of your favorite players coming into the league. But that doesn't mean he couldn't have fallen out of my good gracious. You understand? Like, Jalen Hurts, to me, like, he's one of my favorite players, and he has no controversy around him. It's not like my love with Jameis Winston, right? Like, I love Jameis Winston, but that's only because he was a content goose that laid the golden egg. Like anytime you turned around, he was Donald Trumping up the place. Jalen Hurts is not that guy. He's a humble man. That all he does is put up W's and fly high. And we know how much I love to fly high. I'm a jet, for Christ's sake. We fly higher than eagles. I mean, the record ain't saying it right now, but you know what I'm saying, you know. Josh Allen holds your number 2 fantasy football, but I like to call him the number 3, honest with you, and put elevate Jalen Hurts in number 2. Josh Allen was 24 for 42, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Had 10 rushes for 78 yards and a touchdown as well. And those were 2 through 5. And all of those guys failed in comparison to the running back that I had on my fantasy football team. To currently the number 1 running back in fantasy football. That is the running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. I call him Dynamite! Josh Jacobs. As he ran for 33 attempts. That gets you a bludgeon award around here. Definitely. 229 yards. 2 touchdowns. But wait, there's more. He was thrown to 7 times. Caught 6 of them. Dropped 74 yards on their head. 41 fantasy points. 41 fantasy points. You understand? Between him and one other person, I outscored the person I was playing with just 2 people. It was that kind of fantasy weekend. And granted, I'm talking all this big cash shit, and I'm not even going to sit the playoffs. We have more people than we've ever had in the playoffs, and I'm not even going to sniff the playoffs. If I sniffed the playoffs this year, I got lucky. Like, I literally backed in there. Like Brandon Jacobs. I literally backed in there. Am I hearing a phone ring? But how? There's nobody here but me. But those are your MyT performers of the week, folks. Fantasy football style edition. And you know what's always weird, right? Is that the people that generally do well in fantasy football don't always translate to the top 5 performers in their position. Right? For instance, I just told you about Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and, well, that was it. Those 3. Can you guess out of those 3, how many out of those 3 were actually a top 5 quarterback this week in passing yards? How many of them was a top 5 this week? None of them. None. Yo, from afar, Matt Jones looked like Tom Brady without my glasses on. Matt Jones was your highest producing quarterback, 382 yards, 2 touchdowns, but took an L to Minnesota, 33-26. Ended up getting sacked 3 times, had a passer rating 119. We've seen Geno Smith as he continues to fight for comeback player of the year or whatever he's fighting for. Like, I don't know what it is. Geno Smith that deserves to get some kind of award this year. I don't know what award he deserves to get, but Geno Smith deserves to get some kind of award this year. This past week, he lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. Right, he was 27 for 37, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And can I get a little bit of? You know what?
Go hard. I'm so jacked right now. Go home.
Nah, I don't want that one. I don't want that one.
Love to see it segment of the week. Give me that shit. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Are we still here? Right? Geno Smith manages, even though he takes his L, right? 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 sacks, got a fumble in their 106 passer rating. Trevor Lawrence comes in at number 3, right? 321 yards, 29 for 37, 3 touchdowns, 4 sacks. Patrick Mahomes, 320 yards. Mike White for the New York Jets. Mike White for the New York Jets. You had Mike White, folks, coming in with 315 yards, finding Garrett Wilson for only 80-something of them. If I'm not mistaken, in this game, the New York Jets had 10 different receivers catch a ball. 10! Zach Wilson was struggling to get it to 3. Mike White is dishing and swishing all over the field. 1 sack, no interceptions, no fumbles, 149 passer rating. Now, part of the reason why Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks took a loss after they put up all those yards, I just told you. The running back, Josh Jacobs, best running back of week 1. Number 2 was Jalen Hurts, followed by Miles Sanders, also a Philadelphia Eagle. Like, that was the running game, right? And also number 4 was James Conner. Had James Conner on the squad as well too. And number 5, I ain't forget about you.
Cleveland! This is for you!
You had Nick Chubb coming in through number 5, right? With 116 yards, but Josh Jacobs put up 229. That was the difference between number 5 and number 1. There was a 70-yard difference between number 2 and number 1. And the fact that number 2 rushing leader last week was Jalen Hurts. You understand that? That's the thing that we used to hear from Cam Newton and damn it, the boy in Detroit, Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick. And now we're getting this from Jalen Hurts. Right? He is special. He is special. I feel like he don't get talked about enough. I feel like too much talk is revolved around Tua got a tongue twister. Still to this day, when Jalen Hurts is still outshining Tua, he gets talked about more. What is it about this little 4'2" Hawaiian falafel? I didn't want to disrespect him too bad. Right? Now you see, so as you just to see when it comes to the quarterbacks, none of the fantasy football quarterbacks, right, that top the fantasy football charts made it here. But that's also because most fantasy football quarterbacks that top the charts are usually topping the charts because of their legs. As you can see here, Geno Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, they're not the leggy types. Like, they may give you 40, 50 yards, but they ain't trying to put out 127, 156, 157. Like, they ain't trying to push out those numbers. Just enough. Slide here, slide there, first down here, first down there. Make the defense stay honest here. And that's about it. They're not trying to win the game with their legs. They're just trying to extend plays with their legs and keep drives alive. Drives alive, drives alive. Keeping these drives alive. Show that's plays. Let's continue to roll up and roll out, right? I think I've done enough. I think we've done enough here with these football performances, right? The fantasy performances, because we actually do have a go hard or go home moment of the weekend, and this moment kind of passed already.
Love to see it.
Stop it. Right, this.
For what reason? We number 1.
What's that?
That's the win of the week.
What are you talking about?
That my Browns was the win of the week, bro.
Talk to me.
I said our Browns was the win of the week, bro. I don't know what you was talking about. Nick Chubb was 5 or something. He was number 1. I mean, when I won the game.
No, he was 5th in producing yards. He was 5th in yards.
Well, he was number 1. He's number 1.
I don't know. You gonna give him number 1 up?
Number 1 in the league.
You gonna give him number
1 in the league.
Oh, over 1 in the league right now.
Who's better than Chubb?
Josh Jacobs.
Stop it, man. You are irritating.
He's ranked number 1 in fantasy football running backs.
We're talking about the real life. Josh Jacobs not better than Nick Chubb, bro.
Who's saying that he's better, right? We just saying that right now he was having a better performance.
Okay, that's fine.
We're just talking about this past week's performance. That's all we're talking about. This past, you over here getting all Cleveland sensitive. You want to make sure Chubb gets his love. I'll give you your chubby love. I'll make sure you get your chubby love. I got you.
Saying it though. How you saying it ain't, you know what I'm saying?
I said he had the 5th performance. He had the 5th best performance of all the running backs.
I'm gonna put his little in front of his name.
What's that?
I ain't got you done. That's how your girl try to play you when you're happy about something. I see a little new car. You don't give me like that, boy.
Yo, I even gave him his Cleveland. This is for you. Like, come on. I did it. I gave him as enough justice as I did anybody else that I talked about in the number 5 position in performance this week. Actually, I'm lying. I gave Mike White more love. Listen, I didn't stay there. Listen, I didn't even mention James Conner. The only thing I mentioned about James Conner, he was on my squad. Nick Chubb had a game, but nobody had that game this week like Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs had a walk-off too. Like that, his 74 yards receiving, the majority of that was on one play. Like they caught him on. They caught Jacobs. It wasn't on the screen, but it was like a draw. Right, and they just caught him straight up in the flat. He broke 2 tackles and he was gone. Went to the house for like 60 yards. Like the majority of his receiving yards happened right there on that one play. But that play happened right at the end of the game after they were down and needed to score so that they could come back and get that win. That was basically a walk-off touchdown for Josh Jacobs. Dynamite Josh Jacobs, JJ, Dynamite, you guys will understand. Well, you may. I'm just talking to the other ones. Right, so he was your top performer, but I would say let's roll up and roll out because we had some other interesting performances to catch up on this weekend, and this one passed already, right? This one didn't happen this weekend. I was just finally getting the opportunity to watch it fully, right? I caught glimpses here and there. Didn't quite get to see everything I wanted to see. Basically, I saw the highlights. What am I beating around the bush? What am I beating around the Barber Bush over here for, right? Now I got a Lewinsky me. So, I saw the highlights, and I ended up seeing the entire fight. And granted, the highlights did it a lot of justice. That's the thing about these short fights, right? Or some said these UFC fights. Yeah, you watch the right highlights, and you really do get the whole entire fight. But I still missed a whole lot. When I watched it this week, or even today, I should say, I realized there was a general pulse of the fight that I didn't get the first time around that I was able to get this time. Folks, let's talk about UFC 281.
Go hard. I'm so jacked right now. Or go home.
So, UFC 281, you saw Israel Adesanya defend his belt against Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira, at this point in time, he was 6-1 in the octagon. Israel Adesanya was 23-1. Only one loss he had was when he jumped up in weight to try to go ahead and take those are the middle heavyweight, whatever that was. Like to take a belt from a higher weight class, and he ended up failing. This fight had a backstory to it, right? Alex Pereira has beaten Israel Adesanya twice before in kickboxing alone, only, right? The first time they lost, the first time he beat him was a decision. The second time he lost, he knocked him out. Right? We talked about this even before the fight happened, that the one thing that Alex Pereira may have going for him is that, you know what? He knows what it looks like to knock out Israel Adesanya. And he knows what it feels like to feel his punches and get comfortable with his rhythm. If there's any similarities to the old Israel to now. Vice versa, Israel Adesanya, while he hasn't taken a lot of losses, he, in the back of his head, he still has this loss's memory in there. And as much as he tried to talk it down, try to downplay, well, that's what you're supposed to do, right? That was in the past. That was a different me. That's I'm not even the same person. Like, why would I even think about something that happened in a different lifetime? But it's there. It's there, and you know it's there. This fight on the judges' scorecard was unanimous 3-1 going into the fifth. I had it 4-0. Dominated by Israel Adesanya. Right? The first round is basically all Israel Adesanya. You see him coming, you see him you see them both. But the fill-out process that Israel Adesanya normally goes through for about a round or so, he didn't do that. He pressed this one a little bit more. Touching him up, catching him with the jab, leg kicks here. There was something that I noticed throughout the whole entire fight that you didn't see a lot from Israel Adesanya. You saw a lot of it from his mentor, right? One of the guys that he looks at Anderson the Spider Silva. But you haven't really seen a lot from Israel Adesanya. And that was him grabbing the plum in the clinch, right? Really heavily relying on that kickboxing style to fight another kickboxer that he has lost to. Right? What's going on, Joining Morning Podcast? Good evening to you. First round, I see it all Israel. Right? Without a shadow of a doubt. Even, if I'm not mistaken, end of the first round, he even caught him. He even caught Alex Pereira. Right? Caught him nice, caught him good, had him stunned. If this fight let's just say this fight, if the first round would have lasted 15 more seconds, Israel would have won this in the first round. Like 100%. If this fight lasts 15 more seconds in the first round, Israel Adesanya walks away the winner. Second round comes out, you see Alex Pereira coming out with a little bit more urgency. You see him taking more attempts, firing off more shots. To me, I still saw a round that Israel Adesanya ultimately won. But there was a takedown right at the end of that end of that second round that probably wasn't significant enough to sway the judges to give that point to Pereira, but I didn't see it. It wasn't a dominant takedown. It wasn't a long enough. It wasn't long enough to say that he sustained control. The takedown wasn't an easy takedown. It's not like he boomed him. Like he barely got him. So even with that, it wasn't enough for me to say that, hey, Alex Pereira won the second round. Honestly, it's like I said, I had 4 straight rounds of Israel Adesanya. Third round comes up. Israel Adesanya, this time he gets Alex Pereira to the ground right around about 2 minutes left in the game, or in that round. Both men are working from the bottom, from the mount, from this mount position. Israel Adesanya is raining elbows from the top position. You also see Alex Pereira being able to catch some elbows from the bottom position as well, keeping Israel very calculated and kind of distant. Right? You even see Alex trying to work in a couple of submissions. At one point in time, I thought he was working. He was trying to slowly position himself for a triangle. So it was another round that Israel Adesanya won, but he didn't just beat the shit out of Alex Pereira on the floor. Alex Pereira made him work for the damage that he received. Finally stands up Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya, he watches over him to the sideways. He's trying to figure out, how can I get in here? Alex Pereira is throwing a lot of good up kicks, and Israel Adesanya catches him with a heel kick right to the sternum. That immediately knocked the wind out of Alex Pereira, because immediately he gave up his back again immediately to Israel Adesanya, and it was saved by the round. Again, another round. I'm looking at it. If this goes 15 more seconds, this may be over. This was a dominant fight for Israel. This really was. Now, hold on one second. We got a call. We got Jonah calling in. What's going on, Jonah? Welcome to the Mighty Sports Podcast. Talk your talk. Yo, you there? I can barely hear you, Jonah. Just to let you know. Like, you're barely audible. Yeah, I can barely hear. I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna try to see if we can get that fixed. And whenever you feel like you got that under wraps, give me a call back and we'll chop it up. But yeah, but for right now, yeah, I can't hear a word that you're saying. I do apologize. I really love to hear what you got going on. But yeah, as soon as you get that fixed, give us a call back up. I got you. So again, we're talking about 4 straight rounds where Israel Adesanya, I think, is dominating this fight. By the 4th round, you do start noticing. I don't even want to say urgency, but even from the beginning, but by the 4th round, it really starts to become prominent how heavy-handed Alex Pereira is, right? They talked about it all fight, but you could hear it too. Like they weren't joking when they said it. You can hear it. His punches they weren't fast. They were slow, hard, and thudding just every time. Just bone and body shattling and body rattling. Right? And that would honestly end up coming into play in the 5th round. At the end of the 4th, Alex's coach Kona tells him, listen, you need to go for gusto, you need to go for broke, like, you need to go for the knockout here. Like swing, swing like you've never swung before. And swung like he never swung before is what Alex Pereira did. He came out swinging for the fences. Majority of the round, Israel Adesanya is dodging them, tagging them. They even to the point where they even exchanging a couple of tags back. Total punches, I have to look at the total punches. But total punches, Israel Adesanya for the whole entire fight probably still won total punch numbers. But then you see it come in there, right? Those thudding punches. And he caught him with one thudding punch underneath the chin. And then as he tried to back out and escape, caught him with another one that sent him back the other way. It's like, oh, I'm going this way. Oh, no. Oh, shit. I'm going this way. And next you know, Israel Adesanya is in trouble. And he's looking wobbly. And he has a hand down. And as you know, he's back up on the fence. And he's like, come on, you son of a bitch. Right? And Alex Perry comes in there, starts giving him the mercy shots. Bam! Another uppercut. Bam to the body. Then he's punching. Israel Adesanya starts doing a blind dodge and weave. Right? Bob and weave. Which, in boxing, probably may buy you a little bit more time. In MMA, it doesn't. Now, initially, I thought I did. I thought they possibly called the fight a little too early. Stopped it too soon. But once I heard the explanation that, listen, from the position that he was in, and it looked like that, while he may be dodging, he really isn't dodging. He's almost out on his feet. What's going on, Raw Talk? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, baby? He's basically out on his feet. And all it would have taken was one well-placed knee to make this look really nasty. So it was stopped right? Now, to be honest with you, like I said, even in the 5th round, I had Israel Adesanya winning until he got knocked out. So we're talking about 5 straight rounds to none that he's winning. I think, like I said, the judges had it 3-1 unanimously. Most of them probably giving Alex Pierce the 2nd round. But this is going to be a rematch. Oh, man. Listen here. Listen here. Oh, this is what finished watching Raw. Oh, shit. How was Raw? I'm going to be watching Raw tomorrow. I will be watching Raw tomorrow. But you can always call in. I don't mind hearing a little bit today. Actually, you know what? I can't even because I'm still watching. I'm honestly, you know what? That's what I should finish watching. I'm over here trying to figure out what I wanted to watch all night during the podcast. I should have finished watching War Games. Right now I'm still watching War Games right now. If I'm not mistaken. Damn. Listen. So you know what? I'm gonna say this while I have you on there, because I know you'll appreciate this, and then we'll get back to the Israel Adesanya fight. And there's not even much more to talk about Israel Adesanya. There's gonna be a rematch. Like, that's probably good. I'm gonna leave that there. There's gonna be a rematch with Israel Adesanya. That fight was too good. It was too dominant. It was too one-sided with an explosive ending that changed the tide for there not to be a rematch. And then if it happens another time, then this dude just has his number, where he just knows how to outlast Israel Adesanya until the very last round and then puts him to sleep. That could be something too. But we're going to get a rematch. Okay, so now let's get some Raw talk on here. It's not even about War Games so much, right? But let's get some talk on here. WWE talk. Right now, and I said this a couple weeks on the podcast. Right now, I feel like WWE is probably as exciting as they've ever been since the Attitude Era. And I say that because, right, there's a real buzz of anticipation lingering around WWE, right? Around basically for every week. Ever since Vince McMahon has been forced to step down, right? And there's been a new head of talent and talent relations. And you see them bringing back all of these individuals that they let go. It's almost like it reminds me of when they had the Roy's War and they brought out WCW. Remember that? When they he's taking over. And, you're right. Triple H has taken over, we've been a big fan. I've been a big fan too of what he's pushing out. But it reminds me of that Attitude Era, right? Or that time when they brought out WCW, and then every week or so you're seeing a new superstar come in, or you're seeing a new superstar in the stand somewhere, and you're like, oh, is this going to be the next person to make their return? Or you don't hear anything. And if it's not a brand new if it's a superstar that they had signed previously that they had to let go, it's a superstar from injury, right? Like, it's either or, but it's almost like every other week they're benefiting from the pop of a new star. And then as they ride that wave for a little bit, then bam, here comes a new one. I've been really enjoying the after McMahon era, right? Or I don't want to call it after McMahon, the post Vince era. Because for a while now, I can say that a lot of fans have been real upset of how Vince has been handling the roster. Not just with the individuals that he's been releasing, but the poor utilization of the talent that's been built up from NXT as well. So, with this, with now Triple H taking over, you can see it. Like, there's been a change, and the pop that they're getting, like I said, almost on a weekly basis, every other week, like multiple times a month, from a brand new superstar coming back again, it's been phenomenal. And for the people that were too young to ever witness the Attitude Era, but you constantly hear about it how exciting it is. If you're excited about how of all of these returns and these superstars coming in now, just imagine when all of these guys were your rival, like your bona fide rival in WCW, and you were always dreaming about, damn, I wonder what would happen if so-and-so fights so-and-so. I wonder how it will happen if so-and-so will have so-and-so. I wonder what would happen if the Ayatollah of rock and roller decides to come down and bless us during a pay-per-view. What would happen? And boy, was it exciting. And the outcomes are as predictable, the outcomes aren't as predictable either. When Vince was in charge, you could tell who would win. Triple H has thrown some. Yeah, he's right. You're fully right. You're fully right. I'm telling you, I've really been, like I said, I've been a wrestling fan. Like, if you listen to this podcast enough, you guys know how much of a wrestling fan I am. I'm so much of a wrestling fan that when I started investing into stocks, WWE was the first stock I bought. That's how much of a wrestling fan that I am. So yes, I am very much invested into the business of WWE. Like, and that is a double entendre all day long. So, I know I could be an asshole for asking this question, right? Or maybe at Raw Talk. Do you have your own podcast where you talk? Where you do some Raw? Where you talk Monday Night Raw? And if so, like, please feel free to let the people know how they can find you. What times? What days? Like, we share that love here. You know how that goes. Each one, reach one, teach one. You know how we do. Memory of. Right? Let's continue to roll up and roll out. Right? As we had another. Actually, I don't get a chance. I don't get opportunity to talk a lot of wrestling these days. You guys don't understand. Like with football being in its full effect, basketball being here. Like, I don't get a lot of time to talk wrestling. But I have been really excited with what's going on. Listen, LA Knight, The Fiend, like Mia Yim, I can deal without. I'll rather see Keith Lee make his way back. You know what I mean? They got Dr. Roderick. He made his way back in NXT. Like, the call-ups have been good. Like, I'm curious, right? I'm curious because I know this is probably the big one that was missed, right? But the Undisputed Era, them not getting a call up as a faction, and us missing that opportunity, we were robbed, and I don't know if we're gonna get that opportunity back. Like, that is a complete robbery. Like, they were supposed to be the next Four Horsemen, the next Legacy. Like you name those Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton kind of groups, they were the next ones. And okay, Raw Talk isn't just wrestling. I use a part of the podcast on here called the Raw Report. We talk about anything and everything. I got my name from that. It's just getting back into streaming. Understood. Where was I? Okay, I got lost. Where was I? Okay, it's no problem though. Let's continue to roll up and roll out, right? Because we were just talking about top performers, right? And some sneaky good perform. We were talking about some top performances in NFL, and we talking about a sneaky performance that happened in the UFC. But since we talk about sneaky performances, right? I'm curious, right? We just had Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you had some time to either spend some time with some family or get some good, nice relaxation. Spend some quality time with yourself or your booze or whomsoever. The reason Spirit ever didn't get the call of Adam Cole, Roger Strong said they didn't want to go to the main roster. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. I thought we lost them like we lost everybody else. I thought we were just robbed of a great faction. Cause they were moving. Like listen, they. Not to say that NXT doesn't have its own buzz, because NXT is its own little world, has its own buzz, but they definitely were a vibe. When it comes to NXT, they definitely were a vibe. And you and honestly, like the other factions that they end up building afterwards, like Phantasmo and stuff like that, right? It would have just been better to see them go against each other, right? I forgot the Italian squad, the mob squad that's out there. Like you can all see where this is leading to. I'm also a big fan of the factions coming back. I'm actually excited about the factions coming back. Like you have all these people on your rosters, right? But you don't have it. Like I'm excited to see the factions. Use them. Put factions together. Let's get some groups. Get some cliques. Tommaso has said the same thing. That's why he has taken so long for him to finally get to the main roster. That he didn't have an interest in coming to the main roster. I can see that about Tommaso. I was not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear that about Tommaso. To be honest with you, not surprised at all. Actually, I'm not surprised. That's the reason why Tommaso took so long. Because also, I can also see, right, that, and I could be wrong here. I can also see in a world where, in certain closed doors, where Triple H was letting, because I feel like they tried it, where they were trying to make this a bona fide traveling third brand if they could. That those guys, Tommaso and crap, I'm forgetting their names suddenly. Undisputed Era, they would have been the main highlight of. And then I don't think that kind of went that's how I feel. I could be wrong. I don't feel like it went the way that it was supposed to go, and it kind of left the program not growing the way that it was that they probably thought it was initially supposed to. That's how guys looked at it. They saw NXT as the third brand. Okay. So yeah, I'm not fully off, and I think they still kind of looked at it as a third brand, but I think it took a step. It took a step back when they were trying to take a step forward. And I think they're trying to go back forward again after they've taken that step. And sometimes it happens like that in business. It happens like that in business. It happens like that in life. Like you don't like your choices don't always work out the first time. It may have to take that step back, retool it, right, represent it, or you know what I mean, or come back with it again, and it may work better the second time around, third time around, fourth time around. It's like quitting cigarettes sometimes. Like you don't always work on the first shot. So I can constantly see that. And I wouldn't be surprised. I constantly see it being a thing that they're trying to push, or trying to find a way to properly work out. But or listen, it could be in its proper niche. Like who knows? Like sometimes you try to expand yourself and you realize, you know what? We're able to maximize ourselves right here, and anything more, we don't do ourselves justice. But I think they have room for it. Now, speaking of having room for it, Thanksgiving just passed, right? And we have a lot of our NXT Europe. That is exciting too. Cause we're getting a lot of call-ups from that. We're getting a lot of call-ups from that leaving as well. That's right. And them solidifying those two belts. But speaking of, right, as I was saying, Thanksgiving just passed. Right, this past week, and I know if you guys are like me, right? I hope you had a good time, but I know most of us, like, we did a lot of a lot of good eating, right? A lot of good eating, a lot of good family time, hopefully, right? I got a chance to, like, my family from Orlando came down, right? We had a nice little Thanksgiving dinner, but then that same weekend we had a nice little barbecue. I have an uncle that's a grill master. Like, he likes to throw down on the grill. I ended up finding out a smoking trick that I didn't even know about. or a smoking secret I didn't know about, or smoking technique I should say I didn't know about. But as we talk about like our Thanksgiving meals, right? Most of us like Thanksgiving is pretty much has pretty much I'm still eating Thanksgiving dinner. Listen, so am I. like Thanksgiving has an outline, right? A general outline that most of us that you pretty much stick to, right? There's usually always going to be some kind of turkey, right? There's going to be some kind of stuffing. What else? Probably some yams. Maybe some mashed potatoes. Right? That's usually like your four main things, right? Am I mistaken? Cranberry sauce. But turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry, right? Maybe a ham too, right? A ham. I'm assuming most people put a ham in there. What I'm curious about, right? What non-traditional Thanksgiving dish makes it to your dinner plate? And I'm talking, right? Because listen, all the stuff that I mentioned, I'm over here trying to think because some of that stuff did not make it to my dish, right? Like we had a turkey, but we didn't have no mashed potatoes. Like we had potato salad, right? We had candy yams, and I'm telling you that motherfucker is drizzled in a sauce that will make your lips pucker. You know what I mean? We had that homemade stuff in that baked macaroni, right? But we're Jamaican, right? So. And then I have another southern part of the family. So there's collard greens that makes it, of course, right? And they do a chicken instead of a turkey. Oh, interesting. I've had somebody do Cornish hens for everybody one Thanksgiving. that was interesting. So I was curious, like, what non-traditional Thanksgiving dish made it to your table? So for us, it was oxtail. Oxtail was one of the non-traditional meals that made it to our table. Also, chicken soup made it to the table as well. All right? As well as we call them sprat. Well, I forget the name for these fish. All right, but we call them sprats, right? But sprats, like, so oxtail, sprats, and chicken soup were the three non-traditional Thanksgiving dishes that made it to our table. And I know that this is weird because I know that macaroni salad was at my table. Ooh, macaroni salad is good. So I always get curious, right? Because I know, like, I know my family being Jamaican that we always have a non-tradition because what is traditional, right? For us, oxtail is traditional for Thanksgiving as much as jerk pork is traditional for Christmas, right? Like those are our traditions, but it isn't in the general blueprint. So, what just random thing that you do? You say to yourself, you know what? I just like bringing, or what because of your cultural background do you guys bring differently into the traditional Thanksgiving dinner? I'm curious about that. But also, what I'm curious about, what stole the show, right? So he says, "I'm white, so we basically just as you." Right? But I'm also curious, right? Because I understand, like, listen, I knew that was a possibility, right? Some people stick to the blueprint. Like, you know what? We have a blueprint. This is what we do. We don't like that. That's what Thanksgiving is. It's the tradition. Is the tradition. We're not gonna stray from that. Cool. I get it. So then you tell me what stole the show. What stole? There it goes. First one. Pumpkin pie steals the show. Now the difference is we have sweet potato pie on this. Actually, somebody brought pumpkin pie and they got cussed out. They was like, "Why the fuck are you bringing pumpkin? Did they not have any sweet potato pie? Did you not think there was gonna be no sweet potato pie here?" Like, yeah. Oh man, but so we have one pumpkin pie, right? Let me check the rest of these responses as they're coming in, right? All right, I see one. Listen. Some people are just turkey lovers. The turkey stole the show. Listen, you get yourself a nice juicy turkey done right, or maybe you had yourself a fried turkey for the first time, deep fried turkey. Who knows? But you get yourself a nice turkey done right, or you get that white piece of turkey. Like the turkey can steal the show if it's seasoned right, moistened enough. Because I'm also that turkey leg guy. Like I'm the barbarian of the group. Like anytime I get Thanksgiving dinner, like I'm grabbing the turkey leg and I'm finding myself a corner. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was not a white guy that brought the pumpkin pie. But yeah, I'm curious. What stole the show for you guys for Thanksgiving dinner? So for us, right, or for me this weekend, right? It was the banana pudding. The one that stole the show for me this Thanksgiving was the banana pudding. This one I haven't seen the banana pudding make it to the table the last couple of things, but apparently there's a family member that generally makes this. I don't know if I've missed this the last couple of Thanksgivings, but I heard there was a substitute. The other family member made this, and this banana pudding was whipped. Like I've had different consistencies of it. This one had a much more whipped consistency, and I was like, "Oh, that's fluffy." Like it wasn't, so it didn't make it. It didn't. Oh, cheese ball is pretty too. Ooh. I'm getting hungry all over again. I just ate before I came on the podcast. So I wouldn't be hungry during the podcast. And you know what? I haven't had yet. I gotta make sure I do this tomorrow. I haven't had my Thanksgiving sandwich. I didn't make my post-Thanksgiving sandwich. So I gotta make sure I still have the ingredients. You know, turkey, ham, stuffing, collard greens, macaroni, cranberry sauce, all on a onion bagel. And just listen, man. I those pounds are coming. I feel like I'm getting 100 pounds just talking about this. Listen, man. I had to start making sure I'm working out again. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to lose this weight all over again. My doctor already told me my cholesterol was high before the holidays. I was like, it ain't gonna get no better. Like and you know what? Me and my doctor and I had this conversation every single year. I have a question for you guys, right? There's a lot of questions I have for you guys. When you see your primary care physician and your doctor asks you, how much do you drink? And when you give him your honest answer, is your doctor's next response, are you an alcoholic? Because that's how my doctor responds to me. This is now 2 different PCPs that have asked me if I'm an alcoholic after I've told them how much I drink, especially during football season. It's like, oh, how much do you drink a football season? I'm like, I don't know, like the old college amount. How much is the college amount? I don't know, a 6-pack a day and a keg on the weekends? Like, I don't keep track of this stuff. That was the first doctor that called me an alcoholic. That was like 10 years ago. I've slowed down a little bit since then. I no longer can drink a keg on the weekends. But I told my current doctor how much I drink, which literally is only about... So, because he has to average it out, right? He has to weigh it out average. I'm like, well, he has to figure it out for the week. I'm like, listen, I have, maybe 3-4 drinks on a Wednesday night. Another 12 on a Sunday, because I'm there all day at the bar, right? So I maybe have 16 drinks in a week during football season. I'm like, so that's just a little bit more than about 2 a day. He was like, 2 a day? Apparently, 2 drinks a day is alcoholic levels. Who knew? Good thing I ain't telling about all the shots. So y'all keep coming to those comments. Y'all keep coming with those comments. We got cheese balls over here. We got pumpkin pie. You guys let me know what stole the show this Thanksgiving. What dish stole the show on your table this Thanksgiving? Listen, for me, this Thanksgiving it was the banana pudding. I was not expecting banana pudding, and this one was whipped. It didn't have those round vanilla wafers. It had some square ones. I don't know what the hell those were, but like the end of a bar in South Florida. It's like so good, so good, so good. Wait, doesn't a team play that? What professional sports team plays that song? Sweet Caroline. Is it a Carolina team? Sweet Caroline. Bah, bah, bah. It's one of them. It's one of them. But man, the food was good. The food was good. Hey, you know what? And you know what's crazy? We cooked. We had Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then we barbecued on Saturday. And I can't tell you which one was better. I can't honestly tell you which one was better. They were both equally that good to me. I was in heaven. I've been in food heaven this whole weekend. You understand? Like, I didn't even do shit Sunday. I was so beat and so full. On Sunday, I literally just sat there and I was lazy. I couldn't even do anything. Also, like, all of my lower extremities, like, they were on fire. Like, they were on fire. Full good legs was on fire. Barbecue rib alert. Barbecue rib alert. We rolling up and we rolling out to a new segment. Barbecue rib alert. was watching this Philadelphia and Green Bay game, right? Some green on green action coming from a Jets fan. I had a doubly interested in this. I like any kind of action that involves greenery. So here we are, and I'm watching this too, and I'm watching this game, and I'm watching Jalen Hurts do his thing. Watching Miles Sanders do their thing. Watching this defense get to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers tapped out. I know what you guys are saying. I know what the report says, but Aaron Rodgers tapped out. Let's not. No. Hear me out here. Now, it may be justified, but that doesn't mean that he still didn't tap out. Oh, barbecue rib alert! Barbecue rib alert! They get to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers takes a nice little thumping, goes to the back, and next thing you know, he's coming back. He's in t-shirts and jeans, right? You know what I mean? No pads, except for the maxi or the heating pad. My bad. Except for the heating pad, because they end up coming back saying that he fractured, bruised, broke a rib or whatever, and he won't be returning for the rest of the game. So he gets added to the
MyT injury report.
So for pretty much the majority of the second half, we don't get any Aaron Rodgers. And I know that it comes out say that he had the injured ribs, but no. It's a little bit deeper than that. He didn't come back because he knew that the season was over for his team. So why continue to fight? Why play hard? Why continue to play at all? If I'm Aaron Rodgers, this is how you're gonna act, Aaron Rodgers, then just fake your injury for the rest of the season. Get a head start on next season, come back healthy. But see, he's scared. See? He wanted to tap out. He really did, and he did. He tapped out. He quit on his team. If their record is 8-4 and not 4-8, or let's say, my bad. If their record is 4-7, right, or 7-4 instead of 4-7 at the time, Aaron Rodgers is still playing. Aaron Rodgers finishes this game out, and then he brags about or finds a non so subtle way to tell us of how he finished this game with possibly a broken rib. But this season is a wash for them. Green Bay, one of the teams from last year that made the playoffs, is already one of the teams that's not going to make it back this year. One of the 6 teams from the yearly turnover that the NFL has. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday. We got a chart for you guys, and everything. I did a chart. Got a PowerPoint. Right? But no, don't get it twisted. Aaron Rodgers quit only because the season, and that's why I said I know you can find ways to justify it. I know there's ways to look at this and be like, you know what, the season is over. What point does he have coming back in? This, that, and the third. You know, you don't want to see him hurt himself anymore. He's a little bit blah, 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 blah. I get all that. I understand there's a little bit of benefit of the doubt that Aaron Rodgers may have built up. Get all that. Doesn't mean he ain't quit. Doesn't mean I can't sit here and say that, yo, a man goes to the doctor, sees an animal check, the doctor tells him you need to stop. I know this joke. So Aaron Rodgers goes out and he goes down and he goes out. And now we get Jordan Love. And Jordan Love, to me, doesn't look half bad. And I'm going to tell you why. Jordan Love, forget the numbers. 6 for 9, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. Well, maybe, let's not forget the numbers. Because it's the 1 touchdown that he threw. Right? Actually, he didn't throw that touchdown. Did he? Was that guy stopped at the 1 yard line? Now I'm trying to remember. Now I'm really trying to remember. Because it wasn't, I don't think it was Aaron Jones, was it? It wasn't Alan Lazard. But I know whoever he threw the ball to should have had more than 20-something yards for the game. That was like a 40-yard pass, I remember it being. Hold on. Let's see here. These are all scoring plays. Never mind. So, Jordan Love comes in. And the first thing that caught my eye with Jordan Love is the thing that you were happy about for Tua. Is the thing that you were happy about when seeing Mike White. It's the thing that you get happy about when you see any young quarterback in the position. Get the ball to your playmakers and let them make plays. Aaron Rodgers may have quit on this team, but this team did not quit when Jordan Love came into the game. And they continued to fight, and Philadelphia needed every bit of the 40 points that they scored to beat Green Bay, who scored 33, who was 1 touchdown away from tying this game and possibly beating them. With an Aaron Rodgers that quit, and with a Jordan Love that decided I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take over. Excuse me. I'm going to be curious to see how long Aaron Rodgers decides to sit out. Because there's a part of this that says, you know what, Aaron? Fuck it. You want to be like this? Fuck it. Go ahead and sit down. Take the early time off. You've earned it. You deserve it. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Right? Get a head start on your next season. But then there's also the, hold on, wait a minute. Can you afford to sit out the remaining 6 games of the season and have Jordan Love come out here and ball and look like you are easily replaceable because now they have a young, dynamic, coachable guy that can still get the ball to these franchise guys or to these young guys that he doesn't want to build up and have to get right and play coach to mentor even, right? That all these young guys can grow together. They can start figuring out the elites amongst themselves. Can Aaron Rodgers afford to have that happen if he sits out for 6 weeks? So, in all honesty, I'm just curious to see how long Aaron Rodgers is gonna stay out for, right? And let's see how long, and let's see how many games from here until the end of the season that he finishes out. Because if this is gonna be the new go-to move for Aaron Rodgers, I'm getting my ass whooped. Let me nurse this injury for the rest of this game now. It makes no sense for me to have to finish this out. And not for nothing, listen, if you have no problem with teams and quarterbacks, or teams sitting their quarterbacks down when they're up big and having to miss almost a whole half, then if they're not in the playoffs and it's not going to matter and they're not going to win and they feel like they're a little banged up, then why are these guys even going to play? Especially when you're as old as Aaron Rodgers, where you're damn near 40 and not one of the young bucks in the league. Got about like 10 minutes left of the podcast. Hope you guys have been enjoying. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. Right? Don't forget you can catch us anywhere that you pod at. Right? That's on MySpace. Let me start. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Twitch and YouTube. Really, guys, I really appreciate it. Go follow. Go like, share, and follow on YouTube and Twitch. Those two really make a significant help. Really do appreciate it. Any way that you like, share, and follow, and listen to the podcast. Don't forget the re-air of the podcast or the archives of the podcast you can catch anywhere, just about. Like I said, we're on TuneIn Radio, we're on iTunes, we're on Apple, we're on Google Play, we're on Pandora. What am I forgetting? I always forget the name of this thing. Spotify. There we go. We're on Spotify. You name it, we're there. We're there. I'm just saying, B. Just like, let's roll up and roll out. We have a lot left to talk about. So let's go ahead and talk about two QBs, right? We got about two QBs left that we can mention. Buffalo Bills took a nice little took a hard fought win, but the New York Giants ended up losing to the Dallas Cowboys 28-20, allowing Dallas Cowboys fans to have bragging rights and shit. Like they Oh man. Okay, let's get serious. Let's get serious for a second, right? Because as the New York Jets had a super impressive victory, 31-10 against Chicago. You know what? We were the only one putting up impressive victories in our division. Right? So did the Miami Dolphins, 30-15 over Houston. Right? Who has a record of 1-9-1? That is, I'm just saying. Right? But this game was a blowout. Like, oh my God, this game was a blowout. This game was a blowout, and the Dolphins didn't even score in the second half. First half of the game, 30-0. 30-0. Offensive touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. You don't understand? Y'all just hear a voice? Hearing shit. You understand that my Redzone was flooded by Dolphin plays. Like, I'm watching NFL Redzone, and I might as well have been watching the Dolphins game for the first half. Every time I looked up, every time I turned around, there was another Dolphin touchdown, another Dolphin Redzone, another Dolphin defensive play. It got so bad that they sat down Tua in the first half. Tua over here looking like it's college all over again. Like, I knew it was this easy, yeah? Look at this. This is exactly how I used to do in college. They used to tell us, hey, fellas, this reminds me of that game in 2018 when we were playing Watercress Elementary, right? Alabama, we came in there and they said that we were a 36-point favorite. Nah, that even wasn't enough for it. Yo, we outscored them by 40 in the first half. And you guys think about this. And then they put me up, and then they put a Mike White. He drops another. Like, he over there reminiscing like it's his old college days. They sitting him down in the second half. He there chilling, cigar smoking, cock stroking. You know what I mean? Just over there. Look at these boys. It was a blowout in the first half, 30-0. And even with 15 unanswered points, maybe Dolphins wasn't even worried. He was like, yeah, leave him out there. He'll build character. It's 2019. It's against Georgia. Let me tell you. But no, listen. In all due respect, right? Like they did their thing. Like they really did their thing. They took care of business. Like the New York Jets took care of business, and like you expect teams like that to hopefully take care of business, right? We have 6 games left, 6 weeks left. These next 6 weeks are going to be crucial. I may get my wish. I may get the thing that I asked for, and what that was, hey. The last game of the season between the Jets and the Dolphins, I am hoping that game has enough significance in it that the winner makes the playoffs and the loser goes home. That will be the true definition of go hard or go home. It will be beautiful for us to talk about, or it may be devastating for us to deal with. But either way, I kind of want that pressure and scenario. It doesn't just make for good football. It makes for good shit talking as well too. With that, folks, I'm gonna leave you with this. I am d284 with the MyT Sports Podcast. Yo, as we like to say in the islands, right? The key to life is a penis in your asshole. d284, MyT Sports Podcast. Continue to transform yourself into the kind of person that you want to work for you. I'm out of here. I got shit to do. It's 11:54. It's almost tomorrow, and I know the sun's gonna come out, but it's almost tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah.